Nintendo!
Hey everyone, welcome back with me, Mac, where today we are once again continuing our playthrough of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Subspace Emissary, and I'd say we're about halfway through at this point. At least that's my estimation, but yep, we're only about halfway through if I had to guess here, and as we can see, we're back on the Hellbird, I believe it's called, or something like that, whatever. We'll call it Meta Knight's ship because, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm a goofball, I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it, but either way. Oh man, now we gotta play as freaking Sheik here, and of course we're going against the green here, so the wind is pushing us back here, you know. But it looks like we can make it just in time. Alright, so looks like his ship is infested as well. And seems like, you know, about half the cast is on the ship right now, you know, Meta Knight himself, Lucario, Solid Snake, yeah. And yeah, now we obviously freed, you know, Peach and you know, Sheik / Zelda last episode and stuff like that, so it looks like things are, you know, gonna come to a head on this ship at some point here. I mean, I remember the guy that we had to fight, and he's actually a huge bastard. But I'm assuming at some point that, you know, Mario and the other gang are gonna, you know, reunite with them. And this is a pretty cool room. Looks like we even got like a guy who's not actually an enemy down there, if you can see him. I guess it was just something that was, you can get a trophy of him. I think it's called like a Mio or some Mayo or something like that. Can't remember, but I think it was like a failed experiment or something like that. So I don't know like what the actual deal is with, like, that's the in-game explanation, but I don't know if that's something that Sakurai planned to have. I mean, obviously he has a full model with a functioning, you know, animations just standing there, but I have to wonder if that was just there, put there as like an Easter egg for people, or if it was something in which, you know, he actually wanted to intend to have that as some sort of enemy, but, you know, he just didn't have the time or whatever. Oh, man, I cannot stand the creep. Yeah, not getting me this time. Ooh-wee. Alright then. Let's see here. Ah, now we got platforms here. God, stupid Fayish. Can these things break these things? Those like item boxes? God damn, I don't know. I mean, I can't freaking move. God damn, stupid Greep, who decided to put that jerk here? And he's doing jumping, everything like that, because he can't fucking turn around. God damn it. I can't do anything. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. There we go. That tomato does not even. That's not enough. Good lord. Now we got those stupid freaking. What is that called? Like bugots? I gotta say, like, half of these enemies I feel like are created not to be like difficult challenges, but just to be like pain in the asses to deal with. God damn it. Okay, is that gonna go down? Alright, so let's see. I'm assuming this is a bonus area. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, definitely a bonus area. That's where all the cool things here. Surprised I made it that. Probably something I already have anyway. I said I wasn't gonna do like trophy hunting or anything like that in this, and that's exactly what I've been doing. It's just it's the collector in me, the OCD thing. I just can't let things go. Oh, I guess this is the end of the level. Oh man. Uh-oh. I love how it's just like nonchalant and carefree they made Peach in this game. In all fairness to Fox here, I mean, what the hell is she doing just standing there? Oh shit, alright. Looks like we're gonna have another fight here, folks. Alright then, I guess, alright. Peace prevailed in the end on that exchange. I love how, like, like Lucario and Meta Knight are just out in the open and Snake still thinks he can just hide behind, like, a wall or something like that. Mr. Game & Watch. Also, I never understood why all the... I expected to face like a giant Mr. Game & Watch, but what do these guys have to do... What do they have to do with these guys? Duan, I believe he's called. I also always thought that like Star Fox was like really this ultimate badass character and stuff like that because of this game. Because once again, I think he has like him and Falco have some of the most badass moments in the whole game, like their introduction scenes and everything. But I don't know, when I played like Assault, like he seems like the average everyday, the average Joe kind of character. Dare I say, like a little geekier than I thought he would be. Whereas I kind of expected him to be the no-nonsense kind of leader guy the whole time through. Alright, come on. Oh, here, I can beat him with Star Fox, come on. Oh geez, there I go. I say people don't call him Star Fox, now I'm calling him Star Fox. Fox McCloud. That mushroom really did us a solid there, I'm not gonna lie though. Come on. This was definitely his coolest appearance too. He just never was the same for me in the later 2 games, Wii U and stuff like that. Oh man, Mr. Game & Watch is back. I don't know why, but that's just so funny to me. Looks like Meta Knight got control of its ship again. That's such a badass ship too. Well, it looks like that's not the end of this. Oh, no, actually we're not on the ship. So, I guess we're back to Samus and Pikachu. And I don't know, they gotta like, they're gonna, all the teams have gotta like come together at one point. I mean, this was, before Infinity War, the ultimate crossover. Speaking of crossovers, I don't know, I think I brought it up the idea once and I was gonna bring up the idea in more depth, and I just remembered, my idea, the Smash Party and Smash Kart. Want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. I mean thoughts. Don't just say no, I don't like crossovers, or no, reboots, sequels. The idea. Yeah, well, reboots and sequels have nothing to do with this, but no crossovers. Not everything needs to be a crossover. Yada yada. That is a shitty excuse, right? Because, I mean, obviously, the idea of Smash, I mean, everybody fighting, like, if we're being honest, if this wasn't a thing already, nobody would think that would be a good idea, right? Not necessarily not a good idea, but nobody could see the actual vision of what Smash would be, right? People would be like, what? Fire Emblem? That doesn't even make any sense, Metroid is a serious game with monsters and grossness and... Fire Emblem, that would never work in a game, fighting guys like Mario and Kirby, what are you talking about? So, the idea of this is not a bad idea, and if it is, share why other than just, crossovers or this doesn't work because of that, yada yada. Give me some actual valid reasons, right? If you disagree with it. And if you do, then I have no issue with it, as long as you have a good opinion, an opinion, and, you're not afraid of sharing it, and, you don't have the idea of just, oh, well, clearly you're just an idiot, so I'm not going to share it. I'll respect you, even if you disagree with me. I love debate with people and stuff like that. But that said, I think that it would be cool to have a Smash Bros. Not necessarily Smash Bros, but, a crossover event of, Nintendo Kart and Nintendo Party and stuff like that. First off, with Nintendo Party, I guess we'll go with that first. Obviously it's a Mario Party crossover. You could have guys like in the series, You could have the Link, you know, Link, Zelda from Zelda and stuff like that. You could have, obviously you'd have to have Mario. I don't know. Wait, what the hell? Was there just two of the same guys there? But, you know, obviously, you know, I'd say Mario and what, maybe Princess Peach or Luigi, or maybe even just Mario and Bowser or something like that. What you guys would, you know, two like representatives from Mario and stuff like that. Then you'd have like some Pokemon characters, maybe like just Fox himself at this point. So, you know, he's, like I said, I think he's lost a lot of relevance. Even if, you know, if there are two characters, I think it'd be cool to have Crystal instead, just, you know, for some variety. Let's see, you know, then, you know, obviously just like, you know, Samus and, you know, all the Nintendo representatives and stuff like that, I think would be cool. And then obviously, you know, you have cups based off of all those different kinds of, you know, characters. You know, you have the Metroid Cup, in which you drive through, you know, Brinstar and, you know, Norfair, the Parasite Queen track, or, you know, maybe a Ridley type track, something like that, where, like, you know, he's just flying around the track the whole time. You know, there's a lot of creativity that I think could come from that. Then you could also have, you know, the Zelda Cup and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty awesome, in my opinion. You know, maybe have like each track, you know, represent, you know, some of the biggest games. You know, one that represents, you know, Ocarina of Time, one that represents Twilight Princess, one that represents Wind Waker, and then another one that represents Breath of the Wild, and maybe, you know, regular Zelda. You know, think of all the areas that are in Zelda and Hyrule and stuff like that. And we did get a good track like that in, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that I think was pretty fantastic. But, you know, obviously if it was more equal-ish representation, you know, I'd want to have like a Grand Prix that have, you know, all, you know, like a variety of Zelda tracks and stuff like that. Another one would obviously have to be, you know, a Pokemon track. You know, that one, I think, I'm sure there's got to be like a shit ton of really awesome, cool locations in Pokemon, but I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, you know, what would be some good tracks, you know. Maybe we could have some Lavender Town or something like that, or I don't know, just spitballing ideas here. But that said, even if I'm not the biggest fan of it, you know, there's no way that you can tell me that there aren't really cool ideas that they could have for, you know, tracks, you know, the developers, if they got a hold of it, you know, for Pokemon tracks and stuff like that. What the hell just... Oh, now I see I deflected off of that stupid thing. God damn it. And then obviously, you know, we could have some classic stuff too. Geez, let's see. Who else did I list? Yeah, Star Fox. I mean, having a Sector Z, you know, Corneria would be pretty awesome. You know, so a few good tracks there and stuff like that. You know, so there's definitely a few like track ideas I think would just be really awesome to have. And, you know, if they're in there, you know, like the track ideas, I would like to have the characters to play as well. Whoa! Almost just fell over there. And, you know, like I said, I mean, I think there would be a few other series that would be awesome to have. You know, Fire Emblem. You know, there's also, you know, the castles and stuff like that. And, you know, I would love to have a Garrick Mach Monastery track. I think it would be really cool to have, you know, some tracks that would be featured from, you know, like a Fire Emblem Engage, you know, Awakening, Fates, stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, I think there are some people that would just take that as, you know, oh no, those are not good tracks and this or that. You know, I think you have to take a little bit of a... I think that, you know, you'd have to have a little bit of creativity in that sense to kind of imagine what, you know, these tracks could be and whatnot. And then, you know, obviously the character roster I mentioned already, you know, you could have some variety as well as, you know, the carts and stuff like that people drive. You know, I think it'd be cool if, like, you know, one of the Pokemon characters, you know, they had like the cart of like that motorcycle that you drive in the Coliseum, not Coliseum. Yeah, Pokemon Coliseum is what I was thinking of, on like the GameCube and stuff like that, where like, you know, you drive in the freaking, you know, motorcycle to get from place to place. I think that'd be like a cool cart that like the Pokemon character could have. You know, maybe even something. Like, I don't know, do they have a car Pokemon? I think that would be funny if like one of the Pokemon was a car or something that they created. But I don't know, I think they definitely, you know, could have some pretty cool creative ideas, you know, especially when you think about it. Like, I think the average person, when they think about, you know, like what a Nintendo game could be like, you know, it may sound generic at first or whatever, but then you put it in the hands of Nintendo developers that are very creative with their ideas. And, you know, to me, Nintendo is all about, you know, taking expectations that we have of stuff and not necessarily always delivering on it, but like always innovating it, you know, giving us something that we never knew that we needed or wanted or something like that. And I don't like every Nintendo game. There's a lot that I'm not a big fan of, but that said, I mean, I think, you know, if Nintendo were to be given the concept of Nintendo Kart and having to come up with ideas and stuff like that for all these things, there's no fucking way. I mean, no way that people are just saying, no, that's a stupid idea that never would work and stuff like that, and Nintendo could not do anything with it. Because the same people, I guarantee, that would say something like that, unless if they're doing it out of spite or whatever, which I wouldn't be surprised. Some people are like that. They would be the same people singing the praises once Nintendo actually were to do something like that. And then I think as far as, what was the other party? Yeah, I think that was actually the one that I was, I think that was the one that I said I was going to do first. And then I just never, I somehow transitioned into Nintendo Car or something like that. So I apologize for the confusion if that's the case, but you know, you guys know I'm not in my right mind if you watch my videos and stuff like that at all times. But as far as Nintendo Party, you know, I remember I even like proposed the idea, and like I said, I mean, I'm not the only one to do it. I actually looked up after the fact and seen some pretty interesting takes and stuff like that on the concept of like a crossover for Nintendo Party and stuff. And I could understand people are not wanting to talk about it on the right when I posted it because the idea was already broached, but nobody ever said like, hey, somebody already talked about this or whatever. It's just people, you know, people just without imaginations, man, just saying like, oh no, see, that would never work. Why is everything gotta be a crossover? You gotta, oh shit, I just died. And stuff like that, and people just like, you know, once again, I can't respect people with those opinions because they have no creativity. And like, I'm not like, let's put up crossovers there for a second, right? There are a lot of crossovers that are lazy, just like multiverse, you know, story modes and, you know, reboots, sequels, prequels, all that other stuff. I've already talked about this a little bit of length, but I'll go over it again, you know, for the sake of this video. You know, Hollywood and, you know, games have kind of shown us that in the hands of people, you know, like that, it's kind of lazy and stuff like that, and people don't work as hard as they should when it comes to those concepts. So they use it as just like a quick, you know, hey, we have no ideas for this, so let's just, you know, do this concept and get it out of the way, you know, and, you know, we got no other ideas for this game, so let's do something like that. And, you know, oh, people will have to like it. I mean, it's multiple characters in one, or, you know, it's an alternate timeline, or it's, you know, multiple scorpions or multiple Jins, you know, you get the idea. But I hate the idea that so many people have taken that as it's just crossovers are never going to work at this point, you know, reboots, sequels, prequels, all that stuff, you know, it's just lazy ideas, it's never good, yada, yada, yada. I just don't believe that to be the case. If something has merit or whatever, you know, which I think is the case in this Nintendo stuff, and I think Smash is a good idea and a good concept for that being the case, then I think, you know, discussion should be allowed to happen with that kind of stuff. And oh, there's the button up there. And I don't know, I just think people, like, whenever they use that as an excuse, they're just as unimaginative as the people that they claim, you know, to dislike for, you know, using those lazy ideas, you know, just saying no, not elaborating, saying that it's lazy and stuff like that. Now, I think you're just as lazy as the people that, you know, just want to say that, you know, want to use that kind of stuff for, you know, just laziness purposes and not be creative and get, you know, free, you know, jeez, I'm bombing at this, explanation. Pretty much, I think you're just as lazy as the people who use that as a crutch to, you know, not write a compelling story is what I'm trying to say. I hope that made sense, but, I don't know, you guys get the idea, right? So, I don't know, it just kind of irritates me that people, you know, kind of just bring down ideas without any actual thought or explanation of their own and stuff like that. And I think that the reason why, you know, Nintendo Party would work, you know, is, once again, I mean, the mini games you can have, a much more new variety of mini games and concepts, because you have that much more of, you know, idea and you know, to ideas to draw from multiple series because of it now, instead of just the Mario series. And you know, obviously boards. You know, I think there's a reason why, you know, as good as the, you know, Mario parties on the Switch have become over time, because they were horrible in the Wii U era. I think during the Wii U era, I mean, it had to have been like, it seemed like that would have been the only way to keep the series interesting if you did crossover type thing. Now it's not really the case. You know, the Mario Party series has once again found its footing, in my opinion. But there's definitely a lot of times where, like, it seems so like they're relying on a lot of retro maps and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool to have them. But that said, I don't know, like, I just feel like some of them don't always have the same magic. I mean, like, Mario Party, you know, Jamboree, that's what it is, the newest one. It has a lot of really cool maps and stuff like that. You know, we got the, you know, the Mario Kart racetrack style one, stuff like that. I think that's cool, and the mall is by far, you know, the best one in the game, in my personal opinion. But that said, I just feel like, Rob. Kind of a lame reveal in my opinion, because they already showcase all these Robs. But that said, though, I mean, I feel like it's kind of hit or miss for me in these days. When I feel like back in the Nintendo 64 and GameCube days, I felt like almost all of them were like hits. Mario Party 4, I was not a big fan of the arena designs. You know, party boards and stuff like that, because they all kind of had the same thing going for them, where it was like all the metal grates are standing on for some reason. And 5 was decent, but like, I think, you know, 6 and 7 I thought really, you know, were really good at it, you know, at the board design. I think 7 I really liked because each one kind of had its own gimmick to go with, even if I didn't necessarily like all of the tracks. But, you know, I think it, you know, it seemed like they still had a lot of creativity at that point that I really liked and stuff like that. And obviously we had, like, you know, the concept of the Chomp, you know, maps were really cool, you know, Snowflake Lake, and I forget what it's called, but like the Egyptian style, you know, pyramid one with the chain chomps was really cool as well. And obviously orbs and stuff like that, but I think, you know, you would just have so much more, just kind of like with, you know, racetracks and Nintendo Kart, you know, I think you'd have so much more stuff to pull from, you know, Zelda boards, you know, Metroid boards, Kirby boards, you know, I think the possibilities are endless, and just not even just the aesthetics of them, you know, the gimmicks of the board. Imagine the gourmet race, you know, as a Mario Party board. I think they could do something cool with that and re-envision it and reimagine it and stuff like that as something else. I think another one, you know, is you know, I think Hyrule Castle would be a really cool one, or whatever. I think would be pretty awesome. I think another cool one that maybe even just based off of games themselves, like, you know, maybe have a Breath of the Wild board, but you know, it's based around, you know, getting memories or something like that. You know, they could change up the formula. It doesn't have to be like a one-for-one thing, you know, like, hey, buy the stars, you know, to win this game, you know, type thing. I think they could do some other cool stuff, you know, with the series as a whole, to, you know, bring out a lot more of the uniqueness in there, you know, maybe not something too far from the, you know, from what, you know, Mario Party is and stuff like that with the star collecting, but maybe have you collect other things, or maybe, you know, you have to collect things in a certain amount of time and get to a specific place on the board or whatever. I don't know. Just spitballing ideas. I think the idea is, even if you don't like something, you gotta watch things spitball and stuff like that. And you don't have to be like, oh, you know, good idea and good try and yada yada, and, you know, supportive this or that, but I think once you kind of just shit on ideas and just don't really have anything to offer, I think that's kind of when things go south and stuff like that, and that's the end of creativity, in my opinion, because you're just shutting things down rather than bringing anything else forward or productive, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's kind of all I got for, like, you know, the ideas. You know, I mentioned the mini games I think would be really cool and innovative and unique and stuff like that. Obviously seeing, you know, all the Easter eggs and references would be cool. I wouldn't want it to be based off of solely that, you know what I mean? Like, I think some things rely on that stuff too heavily. Good lord. But you get the idea here. If Smash can do it, I 100% believe that, you know, with those same kind of concepts, 100% I think, you know, there would be a very awesome, cool game that could come from Nintendo Party. And you know, Nintendo Kart and stuff like that. And even if you say, well, we don't necessarily need them, okay, sure, maybe you don't need them, but like I don't really understand that argument either. Like, if it's a good game, if it's a fun concept, if it's something that, you know, a team could theoretically think they could do something good with, why not do it? Why does it have to be shut down in that way? I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling because, you know, I'm irritated about the, you know, the uninspired people I've had to talk to on, you know, the Nintendo Reddit and stuff like that. But, you know, what are you gonna do? There's just people all over the internet that just, you know, you're not gonna agree with or get along with and stuff like that. You know, I've had it in my videos where, you know, I've just been personally insulted for like no reason. That's just how it is. And, you know, people on the internet are. But what are you gonna do? But speaking of other concepts that I haven't really, you know, fleshed out on and kind of hinted at in previous videos, you know, I mentioned a few times near the end of my videos about, you know, Punch Out and stuff like that and how I think it could work in the modern day. I think that the stereotypes associated with it, you know, with, you know, Punch Out, I don't think that are as problematic as people think that they are. Because I think people have the idea that the people on the internet complain about every kind of, like, you know, stereotype and thing like that. I think the majority of them people wouldn't give a crap about. Like, nobody is going to complain or be upset about, you know, vodka drunkinski or soda popinski as he is in, you know, the West and stuff like that. Nobody's going to be upset for, like, you know, the Russians. Nobody's going to be upset for, you know, I think it's Aaron Ryan. I think it is. I can't remember him exactly. But the Irish guy, you know, he cheats and stuff like that. Nobody's going to care about him. I don't think people care about Piston Honda or anything like that, you know, finding him offensive or anything like that. If I'm being... God damn it. If I'm being 100% honest, and I think that most people, especially because I think it's definitely, like, for the most part, a Western world kind of problem. You know, I think as long as it's not, you know, anything to do with women, which obviously Punch Out does not have women, which hell, you know, maybe that would be an issue for people if, like, they had a modern day Punch Out and no women boxers that Little Mac could kick their ass or something like that, you know. But I don't know, like, I think, you know, a lot of it comes from I think just, like, you know, a little bit of what people perceive to be minorities and stuff like that. Like, I mean, let's think about it though. Like, there's no gay fighters to my knowledge in Punch Out, and even if there is, they're not, like, you know, the stereotypical gay person, you know, like they act feminine or whatever like that in the media and whatnot. So I don't think that would be an issue, you know. There's no black guys that are acting like thugs or whatever. You know, we're not gonna get crime time and in freaking Punch Out, you know what I mean? WWE. You know, we wouldn't get anything like, you know, a stereotypical Mexican character in Punch Out, I don't think. So, like, I think all the stereotypes that do exist in that game, I just don't think the ones that exist would cause any problems for people. You know, I'm sure, once again, there'd be the people who just want to be crusaders and, you know, upset at everything online and all this other stuff. But, like, I think, you know, that those people are just kind of mostly doing it for attention. But, you know, like, I don't think there'd be, like, people would not complain about, like, you know, Big Hippo for being fat or whatever like that, you know. So I just don't see that as, like, an issue as anything complaining. I don't think there's any Indian characters. I don't think there's any Indian characters, though, but, once again, I can't remember off the top of my head all of them. You know, because there's so many different, like, characters. Even the French one, I don't think people really care about Glass Joe. And even when you see people, you know, talk about stuff on Nintendo, about Punch Out and stuff like that, people always just kind of talk about Punch Out, you know, in a positive way. You know, most people, so I think fans of the series, you know, they're not going to complain. But I don't know, I would like a modern day Punch Out that doesn't have motion controls and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying I want it to be, like, easier in the sense, you know, like, that's why I want a modern one or whatever. I just want it to be a little more playable, in my opinion, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, you know, I've tried Super Mario 64 and stuff like that. I can't do it, man. You know, I love Odyssey and stuff like that. If they made, you know, remade Mario 64 with the controls of Mario Odyssey or something like that, man, I would love to play the shit out of that. But I mean, let's be honest, you know, going back to Mario 64, you know, it's not just, you know, there's one issue for me. I mean, like, you know, the graphics are obviously a little rough, but there's charm to it. But the camera is definitely the biggest issue for me. It feels like there's a stiffness with the controls for me personally and stuff like that. And the idea is, you know, get good, you know, get used to the controls and stuff like that. But I mean, like, imagine how much money that Nintendo would made if they just did a remake of, you know, Mario 64. And you can't even tell me, like, oh, well, there's no need for that anyway. You know, what's the big deal? You know, you know, they have it on Nintendo Switch Online. I don't know, man. I think I think it'd be nuts not to have that stuff. Even my brother and my friend, he says, you know, they already remade it with the DS. And, you know, if they do a remake, you know, they should base it off of that and stuff like that. I would personally want, like, you know, like a purist kind of one, you know, based off of the 64 version. And even then, I wouldn't really care if, you know, there was the extra content and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like, I would just hope that the graphics and the play style and all that stuff would be a lot better. You know, once again, because, oh, geez, that was a mean mug. But I don't know. I mean, it's not likely to happen. Maybe we'll get it in Switch 2, but, you know, I don't know. They remade Mario, Super Mario Brothers. They remade, you know, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and Super Mario RPG. Why not make remake Super Mario 64, you know? One of the biggest games in the whole series. Uh-oh. We're down. But we're not out. Well, we know what you guys think down below in the comments about all these topics, you know. Punch-Out in the modern day, Super Mario 64 remake, Nintendo and Party and Nintendo Kart. And what you guys think about, you know, sequels, prequels, this or that, you know. Because to me, once again, I'll just say it, I think that, you know, concepts alone are not bad. It's the execution that has been poor in the past. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad idea. Because reboots and stuff like that, it's about the creative minds surrounding them and whether or not they can pull it off and the passion that they have for it and stuff like that. But hey, I mean, some people just don't see it that way. I think just some people like to look at the world in black and white just because it's easier for them, you know. Because, you know, that's, you know, why stereotypes exist, you know what I mean? Alright, so we have officially entered the subspace. Mr. Game & Watch just looks... He always looks like he has no idea what the hell's going on at any moment. But these are like some really cool levels in my opinion. Just look at it, man. I mean, look at... I don't even know what the hell that is. Like that I'm standing on, but it's just so cool. This is what I'm talking... Like, if you had people like these guys creating like, I don't even know what the hell this shit is. I don't know what a primit is. Or any of this stuff, but like, man, like... That sucks that I just died, but man, like, these are the creative minds that would be behind something, you know, like, yeah, not that Nintendo hasn't failed in the past, because they've gotten lazy themselves, especially in the Wii U era and stuff like that, but when Nintendo is on their stuff, man, they can create great games, so the concept alone should not prohibit anything. That's how I think about it. Man, it looks like this is the hub or something, because I can't even kill these things. How is that thing not dead? He doesn't have any health, and he hasn't had any health for the last 5 times I kicked him. Good lord. Stupid Spock. Damn it, I wanted the satisfaction of ending him myself. Alright, we gotta get rid of these things, because if not, they're just gonna keep respawning. But that's easier said than done. I love how the metal primits... They're just kind of standing there not knowing what the hell's going on. Alright, come on. One more portal. Ugh. Got a double KO. Great. I love just random open air for some reason. Armank. I gotta say, these are some of the strangest names, I feel like. I feel like a lot of it's just like shortened or weird, you know, like spelled versions of like, you know, things that are normal. Like it's not a fish, it's a fayesh or a fayesh or whatever. It's not a reaper, it's a greep. Oh crap. I wonder what's going on with the premise, because they always kind of like hold their heads like that. Like, is there something going on or something like that with them? Like, are they not under their own control? Alright, we gotta get close. We gotta get out of here before these things run me off the damn screen. Alright. The big pyramids are no big deal. Although I gotta say they are aggressive. But I think that this is like the second to last level, I believe. So I think after this, it's like the great maze, and then the last fight. I gotta say that this game kind of cemented Gannondorf for me as like the ultimate villain in the series. Like, what is just an asshole? And it might, I mean, look at his hair too. Like, how the hell can you wear that? Oh, and his face looks all gross and nasty. Oh, crazy hand? Where is he anyway? And I don't know who the fuck Tabuu is, but he's pretty badass. Because my buddy, you know, he always says like, oh, who cares about Tabuu? Who cares about Master Hanoi? You know, they're just no-name random villains. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't really look into it as deep like that. But I think they're just cool enough concepts. Although I always have to wonder, like, what happened to Master Hand here, because he doesn't turn into a trophy. He's just kind of dead. But he's not dead, so I don't know. And just like, this is before World of Light, they had Tabuu. The guy who could take out pretty much everybody in the whole series with one shot. And he's bullshit when you fight him, too. Well, at this point, his plan is successful. And apparently Tabuu, the whole story here is that, he lives in Subspace. He wants to live in the real world or something like that, but he can't leave the Subspace. So he decided to take the real world and those bombs, I guess, you know, bring the real world into the Subspace. You know, those bombs with the Robs blew up. And, you know, now that they're in the Subspace, now Tabuu can essentially exist in all this, you know, the real world in a way. And I don't know, this is the part that really confuses me. So apparently this was King Dedede's plan all along. Is King Dedede, he brought fighters that, you know, Wario and Bowser and Gannondorf were killing off and stuff like that. And he wanted to save a few of them so that way, you know, something like this happened. You know, those timed badges that, like, you know, brought everybody back to life. You know, they could, you know, fight the Subspace, you know, Emissary, if you will. Good lord. Alright, so now we gotta collect everybody. God damn it, I should have hit him. Anyway, so yeah, so now, you know, Luigi and all of them are safe and they're alive because King Dedede apparently planned this. The thing that I really don't understand, though, apparently he killed Luigi for the sake of he knew, somehow King Dedede knew of this threat. I think somehow Meta Knight knew of the threat or whatever, and that's why his ship got taken over or something like that. The story is not very well told, in my opinion, through the Subspace Emissary. I think you have to read a lot of trophy descriptions, and I think there's like game guide or something like that that might have more information. I don't know. But that's what I've kind of read off of, you know, the wiki and stuff like that, and I don't know, man, it's just, I think if a story is not good enough to tell you, like, I don't have an issue with, like, adding extra bits of lore to a story with, you know, in that method, you know, a trophy and stuff like that. But I think the basic story needs to be able to be told, you know, in this method, or else, you know, it kind of just, it feels like, why am I playing this story if I don't really understand what's happening? You know, I need proper communication, stuff like that. You know, as a kid, especially, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, well, was it a coincidence that, you know, King Dedede, you know, his badges just somehow had some healing magical power or something like that? Like, you know, I didn't understand what's going on. I don't even know if it's still true, to be 100% honest with you, if that's the final case. So, I don't know. It's about the best I can explain the story to you guys, you know, as I can do it. So. And also, you know, Peach, you know, she kind of got screwed out of her chance of becoming, you know, being revived. And ooh, all right, Ike, here we go. And oh jeez, lost in my train of thought. But essentially, if it wasn't for, you know, King Dedede, everybody would be screwed. So. That's pretty cool, I guess, of him. But also, yeah, the part I was trying to think of is, you know, apparently, I don't know how it happened exactly, but, you know, Gannondorf, you know, he's recruited by, you know, Master Hand, you know, Bowser and Wario became a part of it, and that's where they started, you know, killing people and stealing the trophies and all that sort of stuff like that, you know, to stop them, you know, all the hero characters from, you know, saving the world and stuff like that from Subspace. And apparently, you know, Gannondorf, obviously, you know, he was serving Master Hand. However, he was planning on taking the world for his own and stuff like that. Obviously, that did not work out well for him. And it turned out the whole time that, you know, Master Hand was being manipulated by, you know, Tabuu himself for the plot that I already described. Stupid fish. And obviously, you know, I think all these creatures were made by Tabuu, you know, in the subspace. That's why they all look weird and freaky and everything else in the book. I'm gonna try and get all the characters in like one go. If not, I'm probably just gonna, you know, showcase all of them at the end or something like that. After, you know, a replay or something like that, because I don't want to waste you guys' time with like a double replay. Let's see here. And apparently, yeah, like Tabuu is still alive after all this stuff too. Jeez, I know how to get it, but I don't know if I should risk it. Yeah, let's just keep going. But you know, honestly, you know, nobody seems to ever die in the series. So Master Hand, he's not really dead, or Tabuu's not gonna die, stuff like that. And I think he comes back in World of Light. And Ultimate Tabuu does. But I can't quite remember, honestly. But I don't know, like the whole story about an lore of Smash is just... What the hell? God damn it. But the whole story and stuff in Smash is kind of unnecessarily complicated, and it's all just like weird, crazy stuff that just is never actually explicitly told to you. Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, this is going absolutely terrible here, folks. I just gotta be patient. Alright, let's take our time, but we gotta be somewhat fast. Because we don't want to, you know, screw ourselves like we did with Ness. Alright, so here are the remaining allies I forgot in here, so... Came back and replayed it a little bit later, so... Didn't go to this room. And obviously we need the Pokemon Trainer and Pikachu. Just had to make sure there wasn't anything else in here before I destroyed this platform. And you gotta be pretty fast. You know, if you miss your slash, you know, let's say if I, like, missed the Pikachu and I went and did a slash or something like that, you know, Ike would be dead. Olimar, and then we got Fox, and there's no way, there's physically no way to get past this, I feel like, without just getting blown up. So, gotta do what you gotta do. But all in all, at this point in the story, I believe there is 31 characters you should have before the Great Maze. because 3 of them you have to unlock after completing Subspace. I'm assuming they were added after Subspace Emissary, I think. So, for example, Wolf, obviously he was like the last character added. He was like janky, I guess, with his animations and stuff like that, and not a fully finished character even, I guess. So, boy, looks like we're at the Battle of the Titans here. But so they weren't, you know, he wasn't fully finished and stuff like that. So he was obviously had nothing to do with like Subspace Emissary story. Toon Link, I believe, was, you know, he's an Echo Fighter of Link, obviously. So I think he was just probably added as like a last minute thing. And I don't know when he was added, but there was a good chance too. Like, I don't know the exact story, but there's just a good chance because, you know, 2 actual Links probably just didn't have any idea of like how to implement them in the story, is my guess. It'd probably be the same thing if Dr. Mario were to make it into the game. And then finally there's, you know, Jigglypuff, who I think was just added, you know, pretty much almost last minute. I forget why she was even brought back, but I think the idea was she was not supposed to come back to begin with, decided to come back anyway, so. Awesome. I gotta say, they are pretty funny with the good with the comedy scenes here. But I don't know, I always had to wonder what the hell happened to Master Hand here, because he's not dead, but he's also not messed up. He's obviously, you know, Foobar, we'll call him. And obviously Kirby, because he just eats everything, you know, he got one of those badges and he ended up eating it, because why not? So now it's up to Kirby to free the rest of the fighters here. God, of course they have to have all these stupid bomb characters. And then, you know, the final character is going to be, you know, revealed pretty soon. A lot of people actually hate his inclusion in the story because they think it was a waste. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's one of the most badass entrances in the Subspace story there is. Stupid fish. Oh yeah. Oh no. What the hell? Is he just like asleep or something? But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, because of the result of them being added so late. Because for me, you know, there is like, you know, going back to places and wanting to do 100% completion type stuff. But for me, like, once I kind of complete Subspace, it's like I don't really have a desire to go back to it or play, you know, the stages over again, especially not with the unlocked characters. So, but that said, you know, that's kind of why I want to get all of the characters in one go here. So 31 is the total that we need. Although it is kind of lame where it feels like once you finally get everybody all together, you know, for the big confrontation, stuff like that, you know, all the teams finally come together for one big thing. It does seem like, you know, they kind of like just take that idea out the window and they're just like, alright, well, congrats for, you know, being all those levels and having everybody unite together, but now go and get everybody again while playing as like, you know, 5 characters. And yeah, in these story modes, Kirby always seems to get all the special treatment. You know, he's the one who gets revived from eating the thing, you know, from King Dedede, you know, his badge, and World of Light, he's the only one to survive. You know, the attack on that and stuff like that. So you can tell it's definitely Sakurai's baby here, folks. With that said, I mean, I don't know. Kirby's like kind of like a decent character, so I don't really mind playing as him in the beginning of these things or right here or whatever. Don't want to forget him. I like how you can even see like those lip guys in the crowd now. That's simultaneously cool, funny, and pretty creepy at the same time, just seeing them waiting there. Oh, what the hell? I didn't think he was gonna jump out at me like that. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Is that how it works for all these guys? Okay. Guess I won't find out. God, even those Armite guys, not only are they annoying, but look at that thing. That thing is freaky as hell. Gross looking. Alright then. I think it's also cool. Apparently the pyramids or whatever, like all of them have like different designs they can have at the start of level. You know, as far as their faces go. That's why some of them are just plain black. Some of them have like, you know, normal eyes. It seems like the normal eyes are the ones that show up all the time, and then there's ones that have like one eye and stuff like that. Spock. God. Doesn't seem like there's any. Doesn't seem like there's any extra. Oh, what the hell? Some of these you can go through, some you can't. Doesn't seem like there's any extra areas in this really though. So hopefully that means we won't miss anybody. Auto Lance. How clever. Oh yes, even that one has like the red eyes. Although you can't really see it right now because of his positioning. I find it interesting that assist trophies aren't available in Subspace either. But they probably were just not able to function properly and stuff like that. I remember it always used to irk me too in Ultimate. People were always saying, like one of my friends was saying, because it probably, I think he read it online and stuff like that. He always kept saying, you know, like, you know, because during that time there was speculation about DLC, and, you know, I was saying, well, Rex can't be, you know, the Xenoblade 2, you know, representative. He's got a costume, you know. And I said that, you know, Springman, he's not going to be playable in the game because obviously he, shit. Because obviously, you know, he's an assist trophy. And he used the argument of, well, Little Mac was an assist trophy in Brawl. And it's like, yeah, in Brawl, the game that Little Mac was not playable in. Then when he became playable in Smash for Wii U, he was not an assist trophy anymore. And it's like, that was like an actual thing that people were trying to like push. Oh yeah, and that was the same thing. People were trying to say, wow, Luigi could still be playable in Ultimate, even though it was like an assist trophy. And like it's just crazy to me that like people actually thought that was a legit possibility. All right, there we go, we got him. Because I mean, like, it's just such a naive take on it, in my opinion. Like, it was clear as day, you know. I believe, especially if it's someone, I think that the next person, if it's not Sakurai, the next person who takes control of like the Smash series or whatever, I think it's going to be, you know, just a very big attempt at nothing but fan service. I can definitely see freaking Waluigi coming in. You know, I don't know about like Goku and like SpongeBob and Shrek. Definitely not Shrek. But, you know, because I'm sure there's still some rules of like, you know, Nintendo and Sakurai and like whoever would take over would have to respect from that. You know, and Sakurai said nobody from like a series that's not a video game. So yeah, there's the Budokai games and stuff like that. And obviously SpongeBob had his games and stuff. But obviously the idea is if they didn't, you know, first star in a game and stuff like that, they're not going to be in Smash really, because he wants to celebrate gaming, not, you know, all forms of media. I personally think that I always look at Smash as the Nintendo crossover and not the Ultimate crossover. But, you know, I think it's already gotten kind of out of hand. Once again, I've kind of put my thoughts on this, you know, in the before and other videos and stuff like that, so I won't repeat it. But, you know, guys like Banjo-Kazooie and, you know, Pac-Man, Mega Man, I think they're really good, you know, crossover representatives. Because they fit the mold of Smash, in my opinion. And, you know, fit in well with Nintendo stuff. Alright. That fat Ticken is in my damn way. Oh, damn. Did he damage him? And I'm not going to be able to get this. God damn it! There's nothing more frustrating than trying to set up for a trophy snag and getting your butt whooped and losing it. Golly! Well, here's Wario, and this is the end of the level, so I think that's everybody. But yeah, it's just cutscenes from here on out, folks, so that's gonna be all, folks. I mean, everybody's, you know, there's some, you get extra cutscenes if you get, like, you know, specific characters and stuff like that you're about to see, so. Actually, my favorite cutscene in the game is about to come up after this one, I believe. And once again, I mean, it just shows too, like, I think it's just hilarious because it shows that, like, you don't need to have speech. Oh, no, I guess it's the next one. But these are some pretty cool cutscenes, in my opinion. Add a little bit to the story and whatnot, and kind of shows why some of the villains are actually helping you out and stuff after the fact. But, I just think it just goes to show that you don't need dialogue or anything like that to, at the very least, convey, you know, very good comedy and character interaction and moments. It's just, you need it for story this game's lacking. It's just so stupid. Anyway, that's going to be all for today, folks. So thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to check out the finale next week on Nintendo Tuesday. Ring the bell to be notified of daily content, including shorts and Let's Plays. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.